You are a conservative candidate running for office in Tennessee. I implore you to watch this video to the very end and also join me for a conservative candidates training event on Wednesday, August 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, if you're running for office, you've got a lot to worry about because it's very public, it's very expensive, it's very time consuming, you will get attacked, and there's nothing worse than spending thousands of hours and months on end doing something remarkably difficult only to come this close to winning but not be able to govern. Most of you know me as the publisher of the Tennessee Conservative News, but I cut my teeth in politics working on U.S. House, U.S. Senate, state, and local races. I authored the book, How to Raise Money for Political Office. I've been involved in 14 races or legislative efforts intimately, and they've all been successful. Why? Because we use a very simple formulaic methodology that consistently produces better results than people who go out on their own. You know, it's funny, I watch conservative candidates lose continually to both incumbents, open seats. The corporately funded rhinos so often defeat us, even though they shouldn't. So why do conservative candidates lose? Well, first off, they just lack any practical experience. And if you lacked practical experience in something like heart surgery or nuclear fission or building a pergola, like you would never attempt it on your own. But for some reason, people blithely walk out the door and run for office with no prior significant professional experience. And then the experiment does not go well and they can't figure out why. A second reason people lose is because they take really bad advice from folks that have no professional experience. Just because you've been to some political events, you go to your local GOP or Patriot group, that has nothing to do with the mechanics of winning an election. Further, these candidates that run have no structure, no tools, no methodology. They don't understand the inputs that create the outputs. And finally, there's no accountability or mentorship. And as someone who's been a professional coach for 15 years and has been consulting for probably 20 in some capacity, working with clients, I can tell you that if those things aren't in place, information, tools, accountability, and mentorship, people tend to just perform poorly. So at this training, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on very specific things. And they are as follows. We're going to talk about evaluating you as a candidate. Should you run? Should you not run? It's an important question to get an answer to before you turn in your papers. Irrefutable campaign fundamentals. So many people have these counterintuitive ideas about running for office, and they have nothing to do with the reality of winning. List building strategies, fundraising fundamentals, opposition research, and contrast messaging, which is essential and can't be avoided. This is another thing that people get talked into by politicos and doesn't work. We're going to talk about volunteer recruitment and organizing, efficient use of direct mail, social media, telemarketing, signage, canvassing and door-to-door efforts, and also get out the vote efforts. So we got a lot to cover in a short period of time. I've slated an hour and a half for this training. I do charge a very small nominal amount because people who pay tend to pay attention. If you put a little bit of money in, your ears seem to open up and your eyes seem to open up a little better. But at the end of this training, we're going to have a very limited opportunity. And by limited, I mean just a handful of folks that I'm going to take on to work with directly as a coach if they are willing to do it, both on a one-on-one level and in a group coaching situation for those who have smaller budgets. So often, conservative candidates cannot get good counsel. All of the folks that have the information and have the experience in Tennessee are paid off by the corporations and leadership. They understand that in order to feed their family and in order to climb and to make good money, you've got to be at the tippy top of leadership, which means you have to basically abandon your conservative credentials and you have to start representing the powerful instead of the constituents. And so this is going to allow us to bridge the gap between that consultant gap, hiring somebody that really doesn't know what they're doing. But right in the middle, there's an opportunity, if you structure it properly, to get really good advice, really good tools, and a structured format and a program that can increase your opportunity to win your elections 5, 10, 15 times. So if you're interested in this, you're running for office, don't do it by yourself. Don't do it in an uninformed fashion. It does not end well. It's publicly embarrassing to lose. You don't want to be there. So join me for this training Wednesday, August 20th at 6 p.m. We're going to teach you the fundamentals of how to win any political contest right here in the volunteer state. Sign up now. Seats are limited, and the opportunity at the end is hyper limited. So make sure that you're in line to do that. It's Brandon Lewis with the Conservative Candidates Academy saying, let's go win. See you soon.